This special meeting of the Judson Board of Trustees is hereby called to order at 5:30 p.m. I am very pleased that you have taken the time to join us this evening. In compliance with the State Government Code on Open Meetings, tonight's agenda has been appropriately posted. These proceedings are being video and audio recorded and will become part of Judson's permanent legal record. In order that the tape adequately reflects these proceedings, please silence your mobile devices and refrain from talking while others are speaking. Once again, I extend to each of you a sincere welcome from the entire school board. Thank you for your interest in Judson ISD. We have established a quorum, and I will call roll. Mark your attendance. All right, we have all 7 members present. Okay, the next item on our agenda is the public comment period. This is a time for citizens, staff, parents, or students to provide their comments to the board. A meeting that is open to the public under the Act is one that the public is entitled to attend. However, the Act does not give the public a right to speak at such public meetings except through the proper channels. Before we begin, I'll remind our audience members of the board's procedures for handling public comment. Anyone who wanted to speak during the public comment portion of the meeting was required to sign up prior to the start of the meeting. Each public comment speaker will be allowed to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes. Yielding of time to other speakers is not permitted. As this is a special meeting, comments are only allowed on posted agenda items. Speakers need to keep their comments civil and courteous and avoid using profanity. Speakers will not be allowed to discuss students who are not their own. While speakers may criticize any act, omission, policy, procedure, program, or service of the board, personal attacks or complaints about individuals will not be allowed. If you have a specific complaint against an individual, I'm required to stop you and direct you to seek resolution through the district grievance process. DGBA for employee complaints, FNG for parent or student complaints, and GF for community complaints. Grievance forms can be obtained at any campus administration office or in the central administration offices. Okay, and with that, we have one speaker this evening, Ms. Graham. Let's make sure your mic's on.
Good evening. My name is Denetrice Graham, and I'm just here because I was here several months ago, and I think it was when you guys were determining whether Dr. Fields would be terminated or not. And I remembered several people speaking. We heard from parents and heard from teachers and even heard from some previous students. But one of the people and the person that stood out to me most, that I can remember several things that they said, and that was Miss Lee. What she said, I thought was just really impactful and phenomenal, and I just wanted to address that because I wanted to speak to the integrity of Dr. Fields. And some of the things that I remember, I didn't take notes, but I remember when you said that Dr. Fields, that your son had gone to school, I think at Wagner, and that and Dr. Fields was the principal at that time, and a couple of years after your son had graduated, that Dr. Fields remembered your son's name, and that was impactful. You thought that that was really personal and impactful to you. And then also you talked about how you had a medical emergency, and you were hospitalized, and you woke up, and right at your bedside was Dr. Fields, and his wife was there. And then you went on. I'll tell you, it's amazing how I just stuck with me. And then you talked about how he would make sure that you got home safe. He would follow you to your house to make sure that you got home safe because he was concerned, I guess, about with the medical emergency that you had. And the reason why I'm here, I'm just asking that, just speaking to his integrity, and someone I have known for 26 years, so I've known him before teacher, before any of all of this, and he's always been someone of integrity. And so I'm just asking that you guys would just consider to allow him to resign and not termination. To me, Dr. Fields is Judson ISD. I mean, he graduated from Judson ISD. He even took Karen Wagner to the military ball. I mean, how Judson can you get? So I just encourage, I'm just really soliciting that you guys reconsider and to just allow him to resign and that he can leave with a good name. And like I said, he is Judson ISD, so I'm just asking that you consider that, please. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Graham. Okay, one quick agenda note, items 3A and B and 4A have been withdrawn by the superintendent, so we will not need to be working on those tonight. And then the board will now adjourn into closed session pursuant to the following sections of the Texas Open Meetings Act. Pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071, consultation with attorney regarding legal issues pertaining to the possible termination of Superintendent Dr. Milton Rob Fields III's employment contract during the contract term for good cause. And pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.074, discuss the possible termination of Superintendent Dr. Milton Rob Fields III's employment contract during the contract term for good cause. The time is now 5:36 and we are in closed session. The board will now reconvene in open session. The time is 7:48. No final decision or vote was taken while the board was in closed session regarding agenda item 4B. I move that we terminate Superintendent Dr. Milton Rob Fields III's employment contract effective immediately for good cause in accordance with Chapter 21 of the Texas Education Code and district policies, including BJCE legal. This action is based on the investigatory record presented to the Board of Trustees, including the termination report, documentary evidence, witness testimony, and expert opinion. The record establishes good cause, including but not limited to the following grounds for termination: fiscal mismanagement and failure of fiscal oversight, a failure to demonstrate effective planning and management of district financial operations, including failing to adjust financial expenditures to align with student enrollment, resulting in significant and ongoing negative impact to the district's fund balance, failing to produce a financial solvency plan that met the criteria directed by the Board of Trustees, failing to produce consistent and reliable financial information, failing to heed recommendations and warnings from district chief financial officers and financial consultants, and failing to meet district financial goals set by the Board of Trustees. Failure of academic leadership, a failure to provide educational leadership and direction for the attainment and improvement of student academic achievement, including allowing a decline in the district academic rating from a B to a D during his tenure, allowing an increase in DNF-rated campuses from 2 to 17, and failing to meet board-established academic performance goals. Noncompliance with mandatory background check requirements, a failure to oversee procedures, ensuring effective and timely compliance with all legal obligations and policies, including failing to ensure compliance with TEA-required mandatory background screening, including checking the Do Not Hire registry and allowing multiple employees to be hired who were prohibited from working in education. Failure to report allegations of child abuse, a failure to oversee procedures, ensuring effective and timely compliance with all legal reporting requirements, including having knowledge of allegations of child abuse incidents and failing to comply with mandatory reporting requirements, including reporting to TEA, Child Protective Services, and local law enforcement. Failure to comply with legal processes, a failure to oversee procedures, ensuring effective and timely compliance with all legal obligations, including failing to respond to TEA subpoenas issued in pending investigations against current and former employees. Violations of law and district policy, a failure to comply with federal law, state law, and district policies, including personally accessing the student records of board members' children without a legitimate educational purpose or permission, in violation of the Federal Educational Rights and Privacy Act. Bringing and distributing alcohol on district property during work hours. Sharing his username and password for Judson ISD and external computer systems and programs, therefore granting unauthorized access to student, employee, financial, and other sensitive or protected information in violation of the Judson ISD acceptable use policy. Using district resources to produce and distribute a video advocating for the passage of the 2025 VADER and requiring employees to view the video during work hours in violation of state electioneering laws. Submission of untimely and altered financial reports. A failure to submit timely and accurate reports as required by law to the Board of Trustees, TEA, and external agencies, including failing to ensure timely payments to the Internal Revenue Service and failing to implement appropriate financial controls, and requesting reported findings be removed and presented an altered audit report for board approval and submission to TEA. Ineffective organizational leadership. A failure to organize district staff in a manner consistent with district priorities and resources, and to monitor administrative organization for effectiveness and efficiency, including assigning personnel to positions for which they lacked the necessary qualifications and experience, particularly in business, finance, and human resources. Structuring positions in an ineffective and inefficient manner, including failing to assign chief financial officers to the cabinet level, and making organizational decisions that contributed to failures in communication, compliance, and outcomes addressed in this termination. Failure in personnel management and oversight. A failure to properly supervise and evaluate district personnel and to accurately communicate evaluative documents, including completing and signing employee growth plans without communicating or presenting them to employees for acknowledgement, failing to appropriately discipline employees found to have violated district policies, failing to take appropriate supervisory action against employees who created hostile or toxic work environments while taking no action against others for similar conduct, representing the Board of Trustees that growth plans, reprimands, and other supervisory actions have been completed when in fact they had not. Provision of false information during the legal investigation, including representation to investigators that he had a clean personnel file with no prior investigations or findings, and failing to disclose a substantiated sexual harassment complaint and a letter of reprimand. Creation of a hostile work environment, a failure to foster a positive and professional work environment, including creating and supporting a work environment characterized as retaliatory and exclusionary, and engaging in conduct intended to humiliate, embarrass, or threaten employees. Failure to administer compensation and benefits in accordance with board policy, including reassigning employees to lower paid positions without adjusting their salaries in accordance with the board-approved compensation plan, and disregarding guidance to cease such practices without board approval. Failure to maintain positive and professional working relationships with the Board of Trustees. Failing to support board policies and decisions, and instead speaking negatively about the board, its members, and its actions in both public and private settings. Inserting himself into board politics and speaking negatively about board members to others. Undermining board cohesion and failing to make efforts to build a team of 8 relationship, and failing to keep the board informed of significant matters, including subpoenas, educator misconduct investigations, TEA Special Investigations Unit cases, and pending litigation involving the district. I further move that we direct the board president to provide written notice of this action to Dr. Fields and to authorize the board president to make necessary reports to any state agency arising from this matter. Finally, I move that we approve a limited waiver of confidential attorney-client privileged and work product privileged communication solely for the purpose of releasing a redacted version of the termination report, ensuring the protection of personally identifiable information of witnesses and students, information related to ongoing or potential investigations by TEA or other state agencies, and any other information required by law. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion. And
I move to postpone termination in lieu of a letter of resignation by Dr. Fields.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion to postpone by Mr. Macias, a second by Ms. Stanford.
Yes, and I'll start with discussion on that postponement. So, Ms. Ryan, that's pretty sneaky of you to be the board president and then make the motion without the board to have an opportunity to make that motion. That was pretty lengthy. You know, what would have worked is just we proposed termination. I think it was a little overboard that you put all that nonsense out there because it really was a load of crap. The community, what you just heard were the list of proposed reasons for termination that Dr. Fields decided not to continue fighting because he's going to save us money. It was going to cost us $150,000 to fight. Plus, he would have had to spend money out of his own pocket. It was obvious that there's been a board majority that does not want him to be here. So those charges were never reviewed by a hearing officer, which I assure you would have been disagreed. It's laughable to say that, you know, he couldn't hire a CFO when this board voted against hiring a CFO. Do you see how ridiculous that is already? And then, of course, they try to say financial management issues. Those issues were because the board ended up giving raises to our employees that were deserved against his recommendation for 1%. So we played a big role in our deficit. So I'm kind of happy that Ms. Ryan, I guess, did put it all out there so that we can talk about it in the community, because a lot of it has no real weight. It's all just what our attorneys have to put together to propose termination. We're not going to terminate them for just because we don't like them. There has to be reasons. These are the proposed reasons. So I'm going to say and hope that there's a fabric of decency on this board to allow the superintendent to resign gracefully. and allow him to submit his letter. I believe that I received a letter of resignation from him by email to the whole board. So it's not like it doesn't exist. He can resign and we can move on. This has been extremely divisive and continues to be, and it does feel very personal for Ms. Ryan. I mean, this is just disgusting. So bottom line is, my proposal for resignation is a way for us to move past, move forward, not tarnish the reputation of a man who has given his entire life to this district, and treat an employee, and we should lead by example, an employee with some dignity. Again, I cannot wait to dismantle every one of these arguments. I'll do it personally if I need to, because it's all bogus. But the other thing, too, that was stated that I just want on the record, the gentleman that was on the do not hire list, we put him on the do not hire list. Dr. Fields was not responsible for that hire, and it has not been disproven that he was on the do not hire list. So that narrative out there that, you know, he endangered our students, bogus. And that's, again, this is just ridiculous. So again, I reinstate that we need to move past this, have the gentleman submit his resignation, and then move forward.
Additional discussion of the postpone?
I have a comment.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to put on record that I did not receive an email of resignation from Dr. Fields.
Okay, I guess my only comment is that, by the way, the motion was not the proposed reasons. Those were the actual findings, with over 3,000 pages of documents to back those up. So we were not, I did not read the original proposed. These were the actual findings after the investigation. So, and there were multiple people hired off the do not hire list, not just one. So, Ms. Stanford?
Yep. So this has been quite a journey. I will say that there's been, and I've been aware of an effort and a desire to remove Dr. Fields from his position way back in 2023 and ongoing since that time. Various allegations were made all through that time, anonymous complaints, harassment through constant info requests, which eventually helped create a hostile work environment. I believe in innocent until proven guilty. But this process has been an eye-opener for me because it seems to presume guilt right out of the hat. So, and plus in this process, we never get to talk directly to the accused and to hear their answers from them. You hear an interview summarized by opposing counsel. And then you're also given a list of yes/no questions that the accused had to answer. Can you imagine trying to explain something in the confines of a yes/no only? And that's what we had to look at. At the end of the day, it's a shame that in our system, it's very expensive to prove your innocence. And that's a shame. Because I would have liked to have seen this gone to a hearing, but it didn't. So therefore, he's not had a chance to prove his innocence of many of these things. It just seems like a laundry list, and some of them are really unfair. The Vader video that's listed as a complaint was vetted by legal counsel. So I don't know how we can hold that against him. I just feel at this point, it's clear that there's a lack of confidence on the board, and I would like to see him enabled to just resign.
I'll just jump in on one procedural clarification, because I know our public's trying to learn how all these processes work. But just so the public knows, Dr. Fields was presented an opportunity to be deposed and answer all of the questions, and he declined. And then he requested the hearing, and he withdrew it. That was not the board. We were ready to proceed and hear his side of the case, and he chose to withdraw that. And that's, that's his choice to do, which is why we are here today. So, all right, so the
I have a
original
rebuttal.
motion is.
I have a
go
rebuttal.
ahead, on postpone.
So I just also want to be very clear that Ms. Stanford said it earlier. This was cost restrictive. The letter from his attorney said it was going to cost him a considerable amount of money to continue this hearing. I mean, you can read this room here. The majority of the board does not support the superintendent. So it was just better for him not to waste a lot of money fighting a case. But more importantly, the district would have spent more money, a lot more than he would have, to keep this fight going. He, in essence, still saved us some money. So also, the 3,000 pages that Ms. Ryan alluded to, they're not, it doesn't mean those are findings. Those are findings that our attorneys found because they had to bring cause. We've never had an opportunity to have the cross-examination, if you will, to determine. But I can tell you, I've lived a lot of those things. I have rebuttals on my own because I have the experience. I was on the board. So I can tell you with confidence, some of these really do not hold their weight. But again, when you're trying to terminate an employee, you got to make up all these reasons. I still find it interesting. You know, this story is looking like it's coming to a conclusion, but it's not over because there are some accountability that's going to be coming. And this all started from an email that should never have gone this far, but I've told my community, this is politics up here. And so what we're seeing here is politics play out. And the beauty of it is our community knows. They know this is all just a sham. So that's my rebuttal. Thank you.
Okay, we are going to vote on the...
I have a rebuttal.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Stanford. We're still on the motion to postpone, by the way.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And I just wanted to add that I feel that the message we send the district to how we treat our one and only employee is very important. I think it sends a message and it sets a tone. I feel out of respect for him, I would like to see him enabled to resign. We don't have to terminate because that's going to affect his ongoing ability to earn a living, and he hasn't been proven guilty of all this stuff. But I think it's important that the district see how we treat our employees, our one employee. And I've talked to a lot of teachers, some who support him, some who don't. They would like to see him enabled to resign. They don't want to see it get this hostile and destructive and negative. So it's also for that. I think it's the example that we set. Thank you.
And just for clarity on my motion, Ms. Ryan, just for clarity,
Motion to
I'm only,
postpone.
the motion to postpone is in lieu of a letter of resignation, immediate resignation. So we would just simply need to probably bring it back to accept that letter of resignation, but as soon as we possibly could. That's the only reason I'm asking for postponement.
So you motion to postpone till a certain thing happens, so your motion...
I move to postpone
Until you
termination
can request
in
resignation.
lieu of a submittal of a letter of resignation.
Okay, we will roll with that. Some of us never got that, so, but that's okay, no worries. All right, so we're on the motion to postpone. Everybody knows what they're voting on, so, all right, we are going to proceed to vote on the motion to postpone. Wait, I'm pushing the button, Russ. Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry, go ahead and vote on the motion to postpone. You need a reset? Sorry, could we reset, Russ? Sorry, a bunch of us were grabbing ours and I don't even know if I grabbed the right button.
How long is this postponement? Until we get a letter? Yeah. Oh, which,
I thought it was in the
Okay.
middle of the letter.
I'm sorry. All right, Russ, can you proceed us to vote since my clicker is not? Okay, you can go ahead and vote on the motion to postpone. Okay, motion does not pass 3-4. All right, we are now back to the original motion.
And I have a comment.
Go ahead, Ms. Canoyer.
My vote on this tonight is not a reflection of whether this termination is warranted. However, I cannot support any action that arises from what I believe was an illegal meeting held on January 10th, one that came from a walking quorum, which violates the Open Meetings Act. There are proper ways to handle these matters, but illegality is not the way. This is just more evidence that the current board leadership is untrustworthy and should be replaced.
Okay, any other discussion?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead, Mr. Macias.
So I just want to say, Dr. Fields, I know you're probably watching this. I want to just reiterate my appreciation for your hard work, for working under this new leadership. When the board, before it transitioned, we had some struggles, but we worked together. This new board brought in a new mindset, and it happens. This district's not the only one that's experienced this sort of transition, but it is not lost on me. It's not lost on several on this board, and it's not lost on hundreds and hundreds of people in our community who pay attention to what's happening, that you worked very diligently. And when the criticism of how you dealt with financial situations, I think what's lost is that you were deliberately careful not to hurt employees by cutting employees that were serving students. There was a calculated strategy to ensuring that we continue to meet student need. Right now, what we're seeing with school closures is there's no heart in any of it. And so it's just all math. And next year, we're going to see some challenges with meeting student need because we've cut too deep. This whole episode has divided our district. It's divided it from the board to campuses to the community, and it's a shame. It could have been done differently. It should have been done differently. And even this last moment of disrespect, to list everything out, why the proposed termination, it is an attempt to taint your character. It's an attempt to taint your work. But do not hold your head down. You did a great job with what you were given. And these resources and time you were dealing with were hard. I know they're hard. Education is hard. So know that there is many, many that appreciate you. And I also assure you, because I've been told by many, there will be an appreciation party for you where we will thank you for your service. So that will be coming soon. So despite today's action, just know that there are a lot more that support the work that you did. And thank you.
All right, just a reminder, we are voting on the original motion that I had read, which is not the proposed, just to be clear, it was not the proposed reasons. These were the substantiated reasons from the investigation that were documented.
Can you repeat
So-
that motion?
No, I cannot. I can give you want a copy, Laura? I can't read all that again, so.
And I want
it
to
was all in the
rebuttal. I want to
investigation
rebuttal
report.
on that. There's parents that Ms. Ryan continues to say substantiated. They were not heard by an objective third party, and I'm telling you, they would not have all gone forward.
Correct, sir. That's not the standard in the state of Texas for Texas
I'm just
educators.
telling you,
Just
when
so
you
know,
say,
you're quoting something that doesn't
when you
exist,
say
so.
substantiated, you mean like they're real? No, it's not. They could have been argued. I can argue them to this point. Everyone that you listed, I have an argument to counter that.
Sorry, documented. I will leave it at that.
Documented doesn't mean it's real.
Thank you to our legal counsel for putting together, like, literally over 3,000 documents. We appreciate it.
And they got paid pretty well for that, so I appreciate that.
They did.
But bottom line is, documented does not mean truth, and I think that's what you're trying to insert.
All right, we are going to proceed to vote then. Oh, there it worked. All right, cast your vote. Ms. Jones, one more time. There we go. Okay, motion passes 4-3. There being no further business, this meeting is adjourned at 8:12 PM.